across the unforgiving African plains, the sun does not merely shine, it judges every living creature. Each must navigate this harsh reality, knowing a single mistake under the scorching heat means they will never see tomorrow's dawn. Across this endless, unforgiving landscape, an ancient struggle has played out over millions of years of evolution. The ultimate question echoes through the winds, challenging every species to prove who among them is the true king of the savannah. True dominion is not determined by who roars the loudest or runs the fastest. Perhaps the true king wears no crown at all, carrying something far more powerful: fear. This silent force ultimately governs every interaction and dictates the terms of survival. In this brutal wilderness, fear is never a weakness. It serves as an essential compass and a lethal weapon. It keeps these massive beasts alert, guiding their instincts and sharpening their senses to navigate the constant dangers lurking around every corner. On these plains, even the apex predators fear failure, knowing a single missed strike could be their last meal. Meanwhile, massive herds run in terror, aware that any momentary lapse in focus offers absolutely no second chance at life. For massive herds to stand alone on the savannah is a death sentence without trial. This collective anxiety forces them to cling together, creating a unified front against the relentless predators that watch their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. To find the answer, we will journey through 5 distinct arenas where fear reaches its peak. Each territory presents unique environmental challenges, pushing every resident species to their physical limits as they fight to reveal their true nature and secure survival. Every stop on this epic journey is a brutal test of survival and instinct. How these animals respond to their deepest fears will ultimately decide who is worthy of ruling over these wild plains, conquering the grand throne of the savannah. The ultimate challenge hides within the brutal solitude of the Kalahari Desert, a barren wasteland where speed is the only currency. Here, time is an unrelenting adversary, and every living creature must adapt quickly or perish in this desolate environment. Suddenly, a pale golden shape appears on the horizon, pressed flat against the dry earth. Its eyes are locked onto a distant target, initiating a high-stakes game of life and death, where the slightest movement could betray its presence to the prey. Behold the cheetah, the most perfect speed machine that 40 million years of natural selection ever sculpted. Every aspect of its biology is refined for an explosive burst of energy, making it the most specialized sprinter to ever walk the earth. Every muscle fiber in the cheetah's body is engineered for a single purpose: acceleration. With a spine that flexes like a coiled spring, its physical design allows this lethal predator to reach unbelievable, explosive speeds in just a matter of seconds. But this extreme speed comes at a terrible price, leaving the hunter with a brief window of opportunity. The cheetah's fast twitch muscles can only sustain this intense effort for less than 30 seconds before its vital energy reserves are completely drained. If the prey is still running after half a minute, the cheetah loses. It risks not only forfeiting its hard-earned meal, but also exhausting its body to a point of extreme vulnerability, exposed to any dangerous rivals lurking nearby. A scimitar-horned oryx stands there, horns over 3 feet long sweeping skyward like 2 ancient swords. These sweeping, lethal weapons can easily impale any attacker, turning a routine hunt into a deadly confrontation where the predator quickly becomes the prey. Inside the skull of this antelope lies an evolutionary marvel that modern engineers would envy: a carotid reed. This specialized network of blood vessels cools its brain, allowing the resilient creature to endure extreme physical exertion under the scorching desert sun. Amazingly, the body temperature of a scimitar-horned oryx can climb to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. This biological marvel prevents its brain from overheating, allowing the antelope to remain calm and outlast its pursuer through superior endurance rather than pure speed. When cornered, the scimitar-horned oryx does not keep running. It turns around, horns aimed directly at its attacker. With these sharp swords pointed forward, it can impale even the most powerful predators, defending its life with a fierce, unexpected counterattack. This dramatic standoff teaches the savannah's first lesson: speed does not decide everything. The predator that fears running out of time must confront an opponent that possesses no fear at all, leading to a tense, bloody battle of survival and wills. The cheetah must choose: Strike fast and gamble with its life, or walk away and endure another day of hunger. Its greatest fear is the relentless countdown ticking away within its own body, limiting its ability to capture prey. But the fear of time does not belong to the cheetah alone. On the golden grasslands of the Serengeti, a different anxiety emerges as a new generation of predators must confront the terrifying prospect of failing for the very first time. Welcome to the Serengeti, 12,000 square miles of grassland and open woodland, Africa's grandest arena. Here, home to the greatest concentration of large mammals, young lion cubs watch their mother intently, preparing for their first real lesson in survival. Lion cubs are not born knowing how to hunt. They must learn through careful observation. At 5 months of age, their rigorous survival training begins under the watchful eye of the pride's most experienced and highly skilled huntress. The lioness is the ultimate teacher, carrying out nearly 90% of the hunts. Her lighter, more agile body is perfectly built for stalking prey, making her the ideal mentor to pass down these vital, life-saving survival skills. While the agile females master the art of the hunt, the pride's massive males play a different role, larger and heavier. These formidable rulers watch from a distance, waiting to claim their share of the hard-earned spoils without ever joining the exhausting, silent stalk. On these unforgiving plains, survival guarantees absolutely nothing, proving that even the most seasoned teacher is far from perfect. In this high-stakes arena, a single miscalculation or mistimed step can instantly transform a promising stalk into a frustrating, empty-handed failure for the hungry pride. The numbers reveal a harsh reality. A solitary lioness succeeds less than 19% of the time. To survive, they must unite, as coordinated group efforts push their success rate past 30%, proving that collective strategy remains their most lethal weapon on the savannah. Sustaining this powerful pride requires an immense daily toll in the wild. Each female needs 13 pounds of meat daily, while the massive males demand 20 pounds just to survive. This relentless biological demand forces them into a perpetual cycle of hunting to stay alive. Opportunity finally knocks on the open plains when a lone wildebeest strays from the protective embrace of the massive herd. Exposed and highly vulnerable, this isolated target immediately draws the pride's intense focus, setting the stage for a high-stakes lesson in survival. With lethal focus, the experienced huntress drops low, her belly nearly brushing the dry earth as she advances in absolute silence. Every muscle is tensed, her movements perfectly calibrated to blend into the golden grass, steadily closing the distance to her unsuspecting prey. Behind her, 4 eager cubs attempt to mimic her deadly stealth, but their youth betrays them. Their clumsy, uncoordinated steps send dry grass crackling loudly underfoot, instantly threatening to expose their position and undo all of their mother's patient, silent hard work. Alerted by the sudden noise, the target senses the danger just in time. The mother's explosive lunge fails as the wildebeest bolts, vanishing into the safety of the swirling herd, leaving the hungry feline family with nothing but a rising cloud of dust. This empty-handed escape delivers a harsh but vital lesson to the young, developing cubs. On the unforgiving savannah, failure is the ultimate teacher, and this disappointing outcome is certainly not the last they will face as they learn to navigate this brutal world. The future holds different destinies for these growing cubs. Between ages 2 and 3, young males must leave, wandering alone or forging tight coalitions with brothers, biding their time until they are strong enough to challenge a reigning male for control of a pride. Meanwhile, the young females stay behind, inheriting the heavy burden of survival. They will become the pride's primary hunters, tasked with feeding the entire family through each brutal dry season, ensuring the continuous survival and strength of their ancient, proud lineage. As they grow, each cub carries a distinct, heavy fear. The young males dread the terrifying solitude of the open plains, while the females fear not being skilled enough to keep their pride alive through the dark, predator-filled nights of the Serengeti. Yet, despite the paralyzing fears that haunt them, primal instinct relentlessly drives them forward. In this high-stakes arena, hesitation is a luxury no predator can afford, because on the Serengeti, the one who hesitates is ultimately the one who starves. Even the mighty princes of the savannah must eventually learn a lesson in deep humility. Their confidence is shattered when they confront an opponent that is no soft prey, but a living legend weighing nearly 2,200 pounds of pure fury. This formidable opponent is the African buffalo, a legendary beast feared across the continent, known for its unpredictable, aggressive nature. This powerhouse is responsible for more human fatalities than any other large animal roaming these wild, sun-drenched plains of Africa. The buffalo is a fortress on hooves, packing nearly 2,000 pounds of solid muscle into a frame that is virtually impenetrable. Its thick hide and sheer physical power make it a daunting, dangerous challenge for even the most experienced lion pride. Arming this massive beast is a natural helmet of bone. Atop the skull of every mature bull, two curved horns fuse tightly at the base, forming a massive bony shield known as the boss, capable of crushing bones and repelling lethal attacks. This horn shield is so thick that rifle bullets have been known to ricochet off it. Any reckless lion that attempts to bite down on a buffalo's skull risks instantly shattering its own vital, life-saving teeth against this impenetrable wall of bone. Yet, the true power of the African buffalo does not lie in the strength of a single individual. Instead, their ultimate power is found in the collective strength of the herd, a unified force capable of turning the tables on any predator. The moment a single member is attacked, the entire herd, 100 strong, instantly wheels around in unison. Bound by fierce collective loyalty, they refuse to abandon their own, transforming from panicked prey into a unified, vengeful army ready to fight back. They quickly form a defensive wall, horns facing outward like a forest of spears. With terrifying momentum, they charge directly into the lion pride, turning the predator's own hunting ground into a chaotic zone of extreme danger and intense survival struggle. In an instant, the natural order of the savanna is completely inverted. The predator becomes the prey, as the confident lions are forced to abandon their hunt and run for their lives from the overwhelming, thundering force of the vengeful buffalo herd. While the lions flee the thundering buffalo, other savanna residents face their own desperate trials. For migrating herds braving treacherous river crossings, the agonizing fear of dying from thirst far outweighs the terrifying threat of being dragged into the watery depths by patient, lurking predators. Across this unforgiving landscape, endless cycles of dread dominate every living creature. Yet, amid the universal terror of death, losing offspring, or forfeiting a throne, one resilient species rejects the standard rules of survival, forging a completely different path to conquer fear itself on the open plains. These cunning predators have masterfully weaponized terror, transforming raw dread into a highly organized system of absolute power. In this dark, unforgiving hierarchy, the supreme ruler who commands total submission and spreads relentless fear is not a majestic king, but a dominant, iron-willed queen. This formidable ruler is the spotted hyena, arguably the most misunderstood predator in Africa. Often dismissed as mere cowardly scavengers lurking in the shadows to steal scraps, the harsh reality of the wild shatters this myth, revealing highly sophisticated hunters that actively shape their ecosystem. Defying their reputation as lazy thieves, spotted hyenas actively secure over 60% of their diet through coordinated chases. Their impressive, self-reliant success rate actually surpasses that of the mighty lion, cementing their status as some of the most efficient and lethal hunters on the savanna. This lethal efficiency is governed by a strict matriarchal empire where dominant females rule with absolute authority. From the moment they are born, every clan member must yield to this iron discipline, navigating a ruthless social hierarchy where survival is dictated by rank and power. In this unforgiving clan, power is decided at the exact moment of birth. Hyena cubs emerge into the world with their eyes wide open and their sharp jaws fully developed, instantly prepared to wage a brutal internal war for dominance long before facing external threats. Remarkably, their first life or death struggle is fought not against rival predators, but against their own siblings inside the dark den. This tragic phenomenon of sibling murder is a scientifically documented survival strategy, ensuring only the strongest offspring survive to inherit the clan's legacy. By eliminating their weaker rivals, dominant cubs successfully monopolize their mother's highly nutritious milk to fuel their rapid growth. In this brutal nursery, the most terrifying danger does not lurk outside the den, but comes directly from those who share the very same blood. Those surviving this savage childhood grow into formidable powerhouses, weighing up to 176 pounds. Armed with jaws capable of generating over 990 pounds of crushing pressure, they possess nature's most efficient, devastatingly destructive recycling apparatus on the open plains. This incredible bite pressure allows them to effortlessly splinter the massive femur of a fully grown African buffalo. Absolutely nothing escapes their devastating jaws, which easily grind down bones, horns, and hooves, leaving virtually no trace of their prey behind on the savannah. Tonight, a relentless hunger drives the unified clan to mobilize under the cover of darkness. As dozens of these powerful predators move together in perfect synchronization, the dry earth seems to tremble beneath their collective footsteps, signaling an impending, highly coordinated assault. The chilling, high-pitched vocalization often mistaken for manic laughter is, in reality, a terrifying war cry. This eerie sound echoes across the dark plains, serving as a strategic rallying call to unite the scattered pack for a massive, high-stakes battle against their chosen target. Their target is a vulnerable elephant calf that has drifted away from its herd, representing nearly 3 tons of fresh meat. Securing this colossal feast would feed the entire clan, but executing the hunt requires absolute precision against one of the savannah's giants. As the predators close in, the calf's desperate, panicked cries pierce the night air, instantly alerting its protective mother. In a heartbeat, her colossal frame transforms into a shield of pure, unstoppable fury, charging forward to stand defiantly between her offspring and the pack. Faced with 4 tons of charging muscle, the wise hunters immediately halt their advance and retreat. No hyena clan, regardless of their overwhelming numbers, dares to directly confront the devastating fury of a mother elephant determined to protect her vulnerable calf at all costs. This calculated restraint reveals the true nature of the spotted hyena, a predator more accomplished than the lion, yet wise enough to yield. However, as dawn approaches, a legendary rival prepares to reclaim the spotlight, commanding the entire grasslands with a single thunderous roar. Across a realm ruled by massive buffalo and bone-crushing hyenas, only one voice commands absolute silence from all living things. The king of the grasslands reasserts his dominance, yet behind this majestic display of supreme authority lies a tragic irony threatening his very survival. The thundering roar of the lion symbolizes supreme power, yet this iconic king now faces a devastating crisis. In a cruel twist of evolutionary irony, these magnificent predators are rapidly vanishing from their ancient territories, teetering on the brink of a silent, permanent exile. Ultimately, the greatest threat to the king of beasts does not come from vengeful buffalo herds or bone-crushing hyenas. Instead, they face the terrifying reality of extinction, a silent shadow creeping over their empire, threatening to erase their legendary legacy from the earth forever. As a silent shadow of extinction creeps over the savannah's legendary predators, another magnificent giant stands on the absolute brink of vanishing forever. The critically endangered Kordofan giraffe now faces a desperate struggle, its remaining global population hanging by a thread. With fewer than 2,000 individuals remaining on Earth, more than half have found sanctuary within the borders of Zakuma. This precious haven offers a final, crucial shield, protecting these gentle giants from the devastating threat of permanent erasure from the planet. Standing up to 18 feet tall, they remain the tallest land creatures on Earth. This immense height grants them an unparalleled view of the sweeping grasslands, allowing these majestic giants to spot lurking predators and impending dangers long before other prey even sense a threat. To survive this thorny, unforgiving environment, they rely on an extraordinary 18-inch tongue as tough as cured leather. This specialized evolutionary tool allows them to effortlessly strip nutritious leaves from formidable acacia branches, completely bypassing the plant's sharp defensive needles. Yet, their towering height demands a massive 24-pound heart capable of generating double the blood pressure of a human. This powerful biological engine is essential to force oxygen-rich blood up their long, elegant necks to sustain vital brain function. However, this extreme circulatory system turns the most basic necessity of life into a terrifying daily gamble. Lowering their heads to drink water triggers a sudden, violent shift in blood pressure, instantly transforming a peaceful moment into a time of absolute danger. When the giant splays its front legs wide to reach the water, Its entire body is thrown dangerously off balance. In this highly awkward, vulnerable posture, the towering creature is stripped of its speed, leaving it momentarily defenseless against any sudden ambush. To prevent a fatal rush of blood from flooding the brain, a complex system of one-way valves instantly activates. Yet, even with this brilliant evolutionary defense, the giraffe remains dangerously off balance, completely exposed to any predator lurking in the nearby shadows. This vulnerability is magnified by a grueling 15-month gestation period that yields only a single calf. With every newborn representing the future of the entire subspecies, the loss of even one young life deals a devastating blow to their collective survival. Ultimately, the terrifying threat of extinction is not a distant concept, but a daily, heart-pounding reality. Each time a giraffe lowers its head to drink, it must accept that this essential, desperate act of survival could very easily be its last. While these long-necked giants navigate their high-stakes existence, a much smaller, highly eccentric neighbor thrives alongside them. The resilient African warthog feeds by kneeling on its front legs, its calloused wrists bearing the physical marks of millions of daily landings. Avoiding the brutal midday sun, these clever foragers retreat into borrowed aardvark burrows. Active mainly in the early morning and late afternoon, they prove that surviving the harsh savanna does not always require massive size, but rather smart, calculated adaptation. But as the sun sets, a very different kind of survivor emerges from the shadows. The West African lion is a leaner, more compact version of its famous Serengeti cousins, shaped by this demanding environment to carry absolutely no excess weight. Weighing significantly less and sporting sparse manes, these agile predators are built for endurance rather than brute strength. Their lean frames are perfectly adapted to this harsh landscape, where every scrap of energy must be carefully conserved for the hunt. Forming small prides of just 3 to 6 individuals, they lack the numbers for large-scale daytime ambushes. Instead, these stealthy hunters rely on the cover of absolute darkness, striking when their prey's vision and defenses are severely compromised. Fascinatingly, genetic research reveals these unique lions are actually closer relatives to India's rare Asiatic lions than to East African prides. This ancient connection highlights their critical evolutionary importance, making their ongoing fight for survival even more vital. While lions battle for their place on the ground, a silent army patrols the skies far above. The white-backed vulture, boasting a massive 7.5-foot wingspan, glides effortlessly on rising thermal columns, keeping a watchful eye over the vast landscape below. Often misunderstood as mere scavengers, these birds serve as the ecosystem's vital sanitation crew. Armed with highly acidic digestive systems capable of neutralizing deadly pathogens like anthrax, they perform a crucial service that directly protects every living mammal on the plains. Without these efficient cleaners, carcasses would rot under the sun, unleashing unstoppable disease outbreaks across the wilderness. Though they never claim the title of king, their sudden disappearance would trigger a complete, catastrophic collapse of the entire natural kingdom. In the watery realms below, other creatures have developed their own extraordinary methods to survive. The elusive sitatunga, a highly specialized antelope, is the only antelope in Africa capable of submerging completely underwater to escape the clutches of lurking predators. When a predator approaches, this clever animal does not run. Instead, it sinks entirely underwater, leaving only its nostrils exposed to breathe. It vanishes into the swamp, transforming the terrifying threat of predation into a brilliant masterclass in complete disappearance. On the open plains, the athletic impala relies on sheer explosive power to evade danger. Capable of leaping nearly 10 feet high and 30 feet across, each magnificent bound is a flawless display of physics designed to leave pursuing predators far behind. With eyes perpetually vigilant and ears rotating 360 degrees, their nervous systems are primed to react in milliseconds. Though they hold no royal titles, their constant vigilance ensures they live to see another day, repeating the endless cycle of survival. Ultimately, life in this wild paradise is defined not by raw strength, fangs, or claws, but by adaptation. Every species has found its unique way to endure, proving that true royalty belongs to those who master the art of survival on the plains. While adaptation secures survival on these harsh plains, the self-proclaimed king faces a ticking clock toward extinction. This majestic predator, once the undisputed ruler of the endless savanna, now watches its kingdom slowly slip away as changing realities threaten its very existence. Yet, the true nature of the savanna reveals that no single ruler can hold a permanent throne. Without crowns or dynasties, this wilderness operates on a grander design where power remains fleeting, and every creature must eventually bow to the ultimate authority of the land. This authority is the eternal cycle of life and death, where spilled blood directly nourishes the parched soil. The grass feeds the grazers, who in turn sustain the predators, ensuring that even in death, every creature plays a vital role in regenerating this vibrant, interconnected ecosystem. But this delicate balance is fracturing as the guardians of the cycle face their own quiet decline. Across the sweeping grasslands, lion populations are rapidly dwindling, leaving a dangerous void in the predatory hierarchy that threatens to disrupt the ancient harmony of this entire natural kingdom. Alongside the lions, the towering Kordofan giraffes stand dangerously close to the precipice of permanent extinction. These gentle giants, once iconic symbols across the horizon, now struggle to maintain their footing as their sanctuary shrinks and their collective future hangs by a highly fragile thread. Even the essential cleanup crew of the savanna, the white-backed vultures, are vanishing at an alarming rate. Without these airborne guardians to neutralize deadly pathogens, the parched earth risks becoming a toxic graveyard, proving that every single link in this ecological chain remains absolutely vital. In the face of this ecological crisis, a small fortress in Chad called Zakuma stands as a vital beacon of hope. Here, dedicated human guardians step forward to protect the cycle, ensuring these magnificent creatures have a safe, lasting haven to rebuild their rapidly shattered populations. Within this protected sanctuary, the true king of the wild emerges, wearing no crown and roaring with no malice. This sovereign is the unbreakable cycle itself, an ancient rhythm of birth, death, and transformation that continues to govern every single living soul on these vast plains. As the cycle spins forward, it unleashes one of the greatest spectacles on Earth, the Great Migration. Over 1 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras assemble in a massive thundering herd, driven by a shared primal urge to seek out greener, life-giving pastures. Though these two species are not closely related, they share a sacred commitment to mutual survival. Banding together against the constant threats of the open plains, they form an extraordinary alliance, pooling their unique strengths to ensure they both live to see another glorious sunrise. The wildebeest brings highly specialized senses to this partnership, possessing an incredible ability to detect distant water. By feeling the subtle vibrations of the earth, they navigate toward life-saving resources, though their limited field of vision leaves them highly vulnerable to sudden, close-range ambushes. To counter this blind spot, the zebra steps forward as the ultimate sentinel of the journey. With a near-panoramic field of vision and alert posture, these striped guardians constantly scan the horizon, alerting the herd to hidden dangers and keeping the massive migration moving safely forward. Yet, even this powerful alliance cannot protect everyone from the brutal realities of the long march. Under the crushing pressure of the migration, the weak, the sick, and the young are inevitably left behind, quickly becoming prime targets for the savanna's highly opportunistic predators. Sensing an easy meal, a spotted hyena locks onto a vulnerable wildebeest calf separated from the herd. A relentless chase erupts across the grassy plains, testing the young animal's desperate speed against the stamina of a predator determined to claim its prize in this unforgiving wilderness. For those who survive the overland predators, an even greater obstacle looms directly in their path. The migrating herds must eventually cross the treacherous waters of the river, a deadly boundary where the line between life and death becomes as thin as the water's surface. When the stampeding herd plunges into the rushing currents, all displays of terrestrial power instantly lose their meaning. In the chaotic water, the massive animals are stripped of their speed and stability, transforming this desperate crossing into a chaotic scramble for survival against invisible threats. Lurking just beneath the muddy surface of the Mara River, a patient master of ambush awaits its moment. For over 200 million years, this ancient predator has haunted these waters, relying on perfect stealth to catch the migrating herds completely off guard during their crossing. This is the formidable Nile crocodile, a prehistoric hunting machine engineered to dominate the riverways. Weighing over a ton and stretching up to 20 feet, this perfect reptile possesses explosive power, capable of dragging the largest prey into the depths with terrifying, effortless ease. The secret to the crocodile's lethal success lies in its flawless, mud-colored camouflage. Blending seamlessly with the riverbed, it drifts silently like a harmless log, allowing it to close the distance to its unsuspecting prey before launching a sudden, inescapable strike from the depths. While the river harbors ancient terrors, the open plains present a very different kind of challenge. Here, the survivors encounter the African buffalo, a formidable force of nature whose power comes not from stealth, but from an aggressive, united front that commands absolute respect. Weighing up to a ton and protected by a solid shield of bone, these living tanks are legendary. Often feared more than lions, a united herd of buffalo can easily repel any predator, proving that collective strength is one of the most effective defenses on the savanna. But within the herd, internal rivalries flare as adult bulls engage in intense rituals of physical dominance. These clashes are raw displays of primal power, where massive rivals face off head-on, testing each other's strength and resolve to establish their place in the hierarchy. Charging at high speeds, the bulls collide with bone-shattering force, concentrating nearly a ton of muscle at the point of impact. This brutal contest of endurance ensures that only the strongest, most resilient leaders will guide the herd through the endless challenges of the wild. To survive these bone-shattering collisions, the rival bulls rely on a formidable physical defense built directly into their skulls. Where the bases of their massive horns fuse, a dense bony shield forms, creating a natural coat of armor engineered to absorb the most brutal impacts. This incredible biological armor does not develop overnight, requiring nearly a decade of growth to reach its full protective strength. Only when a bull reaches maturity does this shield become hard enough to disperse the tremendous, bone-shattering impacts of their territorial battles. This indomitable physical defense has earned the African buffalo a legendary status that transcends the wild. In human cultures, particularly within the Zulu tradition, this formidable beast stands as a powerful living symbol of unyielding determination and absolute, uncompromising strength. This fierce reputation for facing danger head-on, without retreat, deeply influenced human history. Legendary leaders like King Shaka Zulu studied the buffalo's fearless nature, adapting its relentless battlefield movements to forge unstoppable military tactics that would dominate the region. That legendary warrior spirit continues to echo through generations, celebrated in powerful cultural traditions. Through the intense movements of the Indlamu war dance, modern warriors channel the raw, explosive energy of the buffalo, keeping its formidable, unyielding essence alive. But individual strength is only a fraction of the buffalo's true power on the open plains. When gathered in massive herds, these giants unite to form a thundering, mobile fortress, creating an almost impenetrable defense against the savanna's most lethal threats. Against this massive wall of muscle and bone, even the most daring predators must think twice. Not even a coordinated pride of hungry lions is willing to challenge a fully united herd of adult buffalo, standing shoulder to shoulder in defense. Yet this peaceful collective composure can instantly shatter with a single subtle signal from the herd. In the blink of an eye, their calm demeanor transforms into an explosive, destructive offensive force, ready to crush any threat in their path. However, the absolute safety of the mobile fortress completely vanishes the moment an individual gets left behind. Out on the open grasslands, a lone buffalo separated from the herd becomes highly vulnerable, immediately drawing the attention of the savanna's apex predators. In a direct confrontation, the isolated giant still possesses terrifying physical advantages over its feline rivals. Weighing 5 times more than a single lioness, a head-on charge from this massive beast could easily end the life-or-death battle in one brutal blow. Knowing the extreme danger of a direct charge, the predators refuse to rely on simple brute force. Instead, the lions unleash highly coordinated team tactics, utilizing their unique social structure to outmaneuver and slowly exhaust their massive, dangerous prey. Working in perfect harmony, the pride silently surrounds the isolated giant to cut off any escape. They latch onto its thick hide, dragging their weight against its massive frame to turn the high-stakes hunt into a grueling battle of pure endurance. Just as the lone victim begins to weaken under the crushing weight, the buffalo's legendary solidarity shines. Hearing the desperate distress calls, the distant herd refuses to abandon their own, turning back to launch a massive thundering rescue mission. Confronted by a stampeding wall of black muscle and horns, the dynamics of the hunt instantly reverse. The pride is forced to abandon their hard-earned prize, retreating in absolute haste as the thundering united herd successfully reclaims the entire battlefield. Despite the overwhelming rescue, one young, ambitious male lion refuses to accept defeat just yet. To earn his place as a future king of the plains, he must prove his courage by facing the most formidable and dangerous prey on the savanna. These brutal clashes with the formidable Cape buffalo serve as the ultimate testing ground for young predators. It is through these highly perilous battles of survival that the future rulers of the wild are truly forged and tested in the crucible of nature. While the buffalo herds celebrate their hard-won victory, the savanna reveals an even greater power looming on the horizon. This majestic creature reigns supreme at the absolute apex of strength, needing no herd to assert its undeniable towering dominance. This undisputed sovereign is the African elephant, a true masterpiece of evolutionary biology. Standing nearly 13 feet tall and weighing up to 13,200 pounds, this colossal giant roams the wild with absolutely no natural enemies to fear. The elephant's absolute security on these plains does not rely on speed or aggressive behavior. Instead, its immense physical size and overwhelming power command instant respect, keeping even the most formidable predators at a very safe and respectful distance. Beyond its colossal size, the elephant possesses one of the most versatile biological tools in the entire natural world. With over 40,000 individual muscle bundles, its trunk can delicately lift tiny objects or easily uproot entire trees with effortless power. This incredible physical authority is further enhanced by an extraordinary level of intelligence. Combining massive strength with deep cognitive abilities, these gentle giants navigate their complex social worlds with a profound wisdom rarely matched anywhere else in the animal kingdom. This deep intelligence fosters a rich emotional life, allowing elephants to experience profound joy, attachment, and sorrow. Yet, when a creature of this immense scale loses its composure, the consequences for the surrounding environment can become highly unpredictable and dangerous. Alongside the majestic elephant, another prehistoric giant walks these sweeping grasslands with complete confidence. Despite suffering from extremely poor eyesight, the rhinoceros navigates the wild fearlessly, relying on its astonishing physical power to deter any potential threat on the plains. Weighing up to 3,000 pounds, this formidable beast is encased in an armor-like hide. Armed with a sharp, lethal horn on its snout, it stands ready to defend its territory against any challenger foolish enough to cross its path in the wild. Enclosed within this heavy biological armor, the rhinoceros wanders the vast savanna in near-constant isolation. This solitary existence breeds a perpetual state of high alert, where even the slightest rustle in the dry grass could signal an approaching challenger ready to test its legendary defenses. Because of its extremely poor eyesight, this prehistoric beast cannot identify looming threats visually from a distance. Instead, it must rely entirely on its acute senses of smell and hearing to map out the dangerous landscape and detect any encroaching predators before they strike. When an unfamiliar scent triggers its deep anxiety, the defensive giant does not hesitate or retreat. Guided by pure survival instinct, it launches its massive body forward, charging blindly at the source of uncertainty to neutralize the potential threat before it can pose a danger. This volatile defensive instinct intensifies dramatically as the breeding season approaches. Driven by the urge to pass on his genes, an adult male will aggressively banish a female's young calf, forcing her back into her reproductive cycle through a display of sheer, uncompromising dominance. This aggressive drive inevitably brings mature males into direct conflict with one another over prime territory. These colossal disputes are never settled quickly, often escalating into grueling, high-stakes confrontations that rage on for hours under the unforgiving heat of the African sun. During these epic battles, their massive horns become instruments of absolute devastation. Though composed of simple keratin, the same material as human fingernails, these formidable structures are honed into lethal weapons capable of piercing thick hide and delivering severe wounds to rivals. Yet, the deadliest threat to these ancient giants does not come from rival horns. Instead, a far more insidious danger looms on the horizon, as human encroachment and relentless greed bring this iconic species to the very edge of a silent, tragic extinction. To combat this devastating crisis, dedicated rangers patrol the wilderness day and night. In a desperate bid to save the species, they perform a drastic intervention, safely removing the rhino's prized horns to render them completely worthless to ruthless, illegal poachers. While some giants protect themselves with heavy armor, others survive by rising far above the chaos of the earth. In the heart of the grasslands, a different kind of titan commands respect, utilizing its extraordinary height and grace to navigate the dangerous terrain. This elegant giant is the giraffe, a biological marvel engineered to thrive in the treetops. To pump blood up its towering neck, its massive 24-pound heart must generate immense pressure, doubling that of a human to successfully sustain its soaring skeletal frame. But this elongated neck is not merely a tool for reaching high branches. During the competitive mating season, rival males transform their graceful anatomy into high-impact weapons, engaging in an intense ritualized clash of physical strength known as necking to win absolute dominance. As the rivals swing their heavy necks with terrifying velocity, the impact of bone against bone reverberates across the plains. The sickening thuds of these brutal collisions echo hundreds of feet away, signaling a desperate struggle where neither male is willing to back down. Each thunderous blow carries enough raw power to shatter ribs and rupture internal organs. A single well-placed strike can instantly knock an opponent unconscious, turning this seemingly slow-motion confrontation into a highly perilous battle of physical endurance, dominance, and ultimate survival. For the loser, the consequences of this high-stakes ritual are devastating. An outmatched male can suffer a snapped neck under the relentless onslaught, collapsing to the dusty earth like a falling tower, leaving it completely vulnerable to the predators waiting in the shadows. While the giraffe dominates the skies, a far more deceptive power rules the waterways. Along the peaceful rivers, a seemingly lazy yawn from a massive hippopotamus hides a terrifying truth, masking the deadly intentions of the savanna's most aggressive and hot-tempered resident. This wide-mouthed display is actually a chilling warning to all onlookers. Opening its colossal jaws to an astonishing 150 degrees, the hippo signals its absolute readiness to defend its watery domain against any creature foolish enough to trespass on its territory. Backing up this aggressive posture is a set of terrifying biological weapons. Its lower canine teeth can grow up to 24 inches long, kept razor-sharp by constant friction to easily slice through the toughest hides of any challenger that dares to cross its path. Seeking refuge from land predators, a desperate waterbuck enters the river, hoping its water-repellent coat will keep it safe. But in its haste to escape, the antelope completely underestimates the dangers lurking beneath the surface of this highly territorial giant's watery domain. Entering the hippo's territory is a fatal mistake that carries the ultimate price. Refusing to tolerate any intruders, the aggressive river giant strikes without mercy, instantly ending the waterbuck's life to reassert its absolute, uncompromising control over the entire marshland. Once the violence subsides, the keepers of nature's balance descend from the heavens. The lappet-faced vulture, a massive guardian of the wild, arrives to claim its rightful share of the carcass, initiating the essential process of clearing the battlefield for others. Armed with an incredibly strong, deep beak, this giant bird possesses a unique physiological gift. It is the only scavenger capable of tearing through the thickest hides of elephants and buffaloes, unlocking the vital feast for all the smaller species waiting nearby. By tearing open the tough carcass, the great vulture successfully secures its dominant position at the feast. It dines on the choice portions first, leaving the remains for the lesser scavengers, completing the ancient cycle of survival that keeps the savanna alive. Continuing the feast carved out by the great vulture, these avian scavengers descend in massive numbers. This chaotic gathering represents a vital collaboration born entirely from the harsh necessities of life. ensuring that every ounce of energy is recycled back into the unforgiving wilderness. As tension escalates over the carcass, a dramatic physiological transformation begins. When a bird prepares for a fierce contest over food, blood rapidly rushes to the bare skin of its face, displaying a vivid surge of adrenaline that warns rivals of its rising aggression. This striking color change serves a dual purpose, helping the bird regulate its body temperature during intense physical exertion. Simultaneously, the vibrant flush sends a clear, natural warning to any bold competitors who might consider standing in its way during the feast. Without executing a single sudden movement, the bird asserts its dominance. The vibrant color of its resolve silently does 90% of the work in establishing respect among the flock, proving that visual intimidation is often far more effective than physical conflict. After the epic confrontations of tusk and horn play out under the blazing sun, the vast African continent still conceals other magnificent giants. These elusive creatures thrive far beyond the dusty, chaotic battlegrounds of the open savanna, inhabiting the continent's most secluded sanctuaries. These mysterious rulers choose to live in far more secluded places, high up where the air remains perpetually cool and humid. In these misty, elevated sanctuaries, survival demands entirely different adaptations, far removed from the scorching heat of the lowlands below. In this high-altitude realm, the stage of existence unfolds across cloud-covered peaks, swift-flowing rivers, and beneath the dense forest canopy. Here, specialized evolutionary tools and unique behaviors are required to navigate a beautiful yet perilous environment where danger constantly lurks in the shadows. Deep within this kingdom of mist and thin, cold air lives a majestic king with no physical throne. Yet, his powerful silver shoulders carry the immense weight of his entire lineage, commanding absolute respect from every member of his closely knit forest family. This extraordinary primate shares about 98% of its DNA with humans, forging a profound evolutionary bond. This close genetic connection manifests in their highly expressive eyes, complex emotional depth, and intricate social structures that mirror our very own human families. To fuel his massive frame, the gorilla's digestive system acts as a colossal cellulose processing machine. This incredible biological engine efficiently converts simple green leaves into rippling masses of pure muscle, sustaining his immense physical power without the need for a carnivorous diet. Their peaceful daily existence revolves around a strict, absolute hierarchy. The dominant silverback serves as the father, the undisputed leader, and the sole protector of his family, constantly monitoring the dense forest to shield his vulnerable troop from any encroaching external threats. While they prefer peaceful coexistence, boundaries must be maintained. When the subtle language of sound and gesture is no longer enough to deter intruders, raw physical power will speak, as the massive silverback prepares to unleash his devastating strength to defend his territory. Their most formidable defensive tools are sharp canine teeth growing up to 2 inches long. A single powerful bite delivered to an opponent's shoulder or neck could instantly end the life of any rival, making these rare physical confrontations incredibly high-stakes battles. The mountain gorilla stands as an admirable example of the perfect balance between immense power and profound gentleness. They remain peaceful giants of the forest, only resorting to devastating physical force when the vital boundaries of mutual respect are crossed by bold intruders. Far from the cool mountain peaks in the lower tropical regions dwells a creature with an appearance as brilliant as a work of art. Yet beneath this stunning exterior lies a fierce, highly volatile disposition that commands immediate respect from every inhabitant of the jungle. This colorful marvel is the largest monkey species on Earth, boasting a brilliantly vibrant appearance. However, it also possesses one of the most volatile temperaments in nature, making this powerful primate a formidable force that even the forest's apex predators hesitate to challenge. In their competitive world, visual signals dictate status. The more vivid a male mandrel's reds and blues, the more intense the life force he displays, serving as an honest biological indicator of health, strength, and genetic dominance to both rivals and potential mates. An adult male mandrill can weigh 77 pounds or more, but their true power lies in their massive troops. Moving together as formidable legions, these highly organized groups sweep across the forest floor, easily dominating any obstacle that stands in their path. the savanna quietly recedes as darkness descends over the vast plains. The ancient giants withdraw into the night, leaving behind the indelible mark of their indomitable will to survive, etched forever in the scars of their fierce, daily confrontations under the sun. Across the sun-scorched plains of the Serengeti, life unfolds as an epic composed of courage and sacrifice. Here, lions reign supreme as the undisputed masters of the vast savanna, relying on their unmatched power and strategic cooperation to dominate this unforgiving wilderness. The lion stands alone as the only feline to forge a truly complex social structure. A pride operates as a formidable fortress, built upon the bedrock of kinship and mutual protection, ensuring the survival of their bloodline against rival predators lurking nearby. The male lion stands as the ultimate embodiment of absolute power and regal authority. He wears a dense, dark mane that serves as a vital biological shield, specifically designed to protect his vulnerable throat during violent clashes with rival males seeking his throne. His primary role is to safeguard the frontiers of his vast kingdom. His thunderous roar, audible for 5 miles, serves as a chilling warning to any bold intruder who dares to challenge his territory or threaten the survival of his royal lineage. To feed the pride, the skilled huntresses begin their strategic deployment. They never act alone, communicating through subtle glances and silent movements amidst the parched grass, coordinating a lethal ambush to secure the next vital feast for their hungry family. As the pride coordinates their silent ambush in the parched grass, their collective focus narrows onto a formidable opponent. A massive Cape buffalo stands directly in their path, presenting a high-stakes challenge where one wrong move could instantly turn these apex predators into the hunted. While lions dominate through coordinated power, other predators across these immense grasslands must rely on a completely different strategy. In this unforgiving wilderness, survival depends upon a different weapon, extreme velocity, where the boundary between life and death is measured in mere fractions of a second. Observe this slender creature, perfectly concealed within the golden stalks of the savanna. Remaining completely motionless, the silent predator blends seamlessly into the arid landscape, patiently waiting for the precise moment to unleash a lethal display of natural engineering perfected over millions of evolutionary years. This is the magnificent cheetah, the swiftest animal on our planet and a true masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Every aspect of its biological design is specifically sculpted to push the absolute limits of terrestrial speed, allowing it to dominate the open plains through explosive acceleration. Its streamlined frame is a biological structure meticulously perfected for the high-stakes pursuit of ultimate speed. Every muscle and bone works in flawless harmony, allowing this supreme predator to instantly transform raw energy into explosive forward momentum, leaving its desperate target with no room for error. Engineered with a lightweight skeleton and a spine as flexible as a steel spring, this feline is built to tear through space. This remarkable anatomical flexibility allows the cheetah to maximize its stride length, effectively flying across the rugged terrain with breathtaking grace and minimal effort. In a mere 3 seconds, the cheetah can reach staggering speeds exceeding 62 miles per hour. This explosive burst of acceleration is absolutely crucial, allowing the hunter to close the distance rapidly before its unsuspecting prey even registers the lethal threat approaching across the open plains. This intense acceleration far outclasses even our most advanced modern supercars, showcasing the ultimate power of natural selection. It is a breathtaking display of biological machinery operating at its absolute peak, where every high-speed stride represents a calculated, high-stakes bid for survival on the savanna. To control this extreme velocity, the long, muscular tail serves as a critical biological rudder. This specialized evolutionary adaptation perfectly counterbalances the cat's body weight during sudden directional changes, ensuring the cheetah never loses its footing or momentum during a frantic, high-speed chase. This crucial balance allows the cat to execute incredibly sharp maneuvers at high speed while maintaining absolute equilibrium. Even as its desperate prey twists and turns to escape, the cheetah adjusts its trajectory instantly, matching every frantic movement with lethal, calculated precision across the plains. Distinct black tear marks running down its face help absorb the harsh, blinding glare of the African sun. This simple yet highly effective evolutionary tool prevents bright daylight from obscuring its vision, granting the stealthy hunter a distinct optical advantage during the heat of the day. This specialized adaptation focuses its keen vision on potential targets located more than half a mile away. By spotting prey from such an immense distance, the predator can carefully plan its strategic approach, utilizing the sparse cover of the savanna to edge closer undetected. Now a target appears in the distance as a solitary impala has let down its guard. Unaware of the danger lurking nearby, the unsuspecting herbivore continues to graze, completely oblivious to the silent, lethal threat that is rapidly closing in on its position. This is the exact moment the killer instinct awakens in a macabre dance of death. The fragile boundary between life and death begins to blur as the supreme predator prepares to unleash its full physical potential in a relentless, high-speed pursuit of vital sustenance. The cheetah lowers its center of gravity, gliding like a silent specter through the thorn bushes. Every deliberate movement is fluid and controlled, specifically designed to minimize noise and avoid detection as it edges closer to the optimal starting point for its explosive sprint. Every footfall is a highly calculated step, slowly narrowing the gap for the final inevitable explosion of speed. The tension reaches a breaking point as the predator prepares to cross the threshold, transitioning from a stealthy stalker into the fastest runner on Earth. High above, the profound stillness of the forest is suddenly shattered. Deep within the ancient canopy of Borneo, a powerful force prepares to make its presence known, shifting our story from the dry savanna to a lush green sanctuary teeming with mysterious life. Immense wings churn the air with a heavy rhythmic beat, asserting the absolute dominance of the hornbill, the sovereign of Borneo skies. This majestic bird commands respect, gliding effortlessly over the dense mist-shrouded jungle canopy that serves as its ancient, untamed kingdom. But most striking of all is the rhinoceros hornbill, a magnificent living icon of the island. Boasting vibrant colors and an impressive stature, this extraordinary bird represents the very soul of Borneo, playing a vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of the forest ecosystem. Its hollow casque acts as a powerful resonance chamber, amplifying loud calls that carry for miles to mark territorial boundaries. These thunderous vocalizations echo through the dense canopy, communicating vital messages to mates and warning potential rivals to stay far away from its domain. During the breeding season, the female seals herself within a hollow tree, using mud to wall off the nest entrance. She remains in total, dark isolation for weeks, sacrificing her freedom to safely nurture and protect the next generation from hungry forest predators. With his mate sealed away, the weight of the world now rests solely upon the male's shoulders. He must forage tirelessly to sustain both his partner and their vulnerable offspring, proving that absolute dedication is just as vital as physical power in this competitive wilderness. As the dedicated father hornbill searches the canopy, a silent shadow watches from the branches. This is the elusive clouded leopard, a lethal predator boasting canine teeth over 2 inches long, the largest relative to body size of any living feline, built for absolute dominance. This arboreal phantom navigates the vertical maze with effortless grace, utilizing powerful limbs and massive claws to secure its lofty stronghold. From this high vantage point, the master of stealth patiently scans the jungle floor, waiting for the perfect moment to launch a sudden lethal ambush. Deep within the wilderness, where the dense forest meets the winding river, life flourishes in a completely different fashion. This vibrant aquatic boundary serves as a bustling highway, attracting an array of specialized creatures who must adapt to survive along these dynamic, unpredictable shores. Among these unique riverbank residents, the bizarre proboscis monkey stands out as an extraordinary species found nowhere else but Borneo. These highly social primates have conquered this challenging riverine environment, showcasing a suite of bizarre physical traits that define their very existence in the canopy. These specialized primates make their homes directly along the lush riverbanks, where dense, tangled vegetation provides a natural stronghold. This strategic choice of habitat offers both a reliable escape route from terrestrial threats and immediate access to the rich foliage that sustains their tight-knit communities. Within their complex social hierarchy, physical appearance dictates power. In their unique society, the larger the nose, the higher the status. For mature males, a prominent bulbous nose serves as a badge of dominance, establishing authority within the troop without the need for physical conflict. This unusual organ serves as a powerful resonance chamber, amplifying booming calls to warn potential rivals and entice mates. These echoing vocalizations carry across the wide river, allowing dominant males to assert their territorial authority and maintain order within the dense jungle canopy. To survive on nutrient-poor mangrove leaves, these monkeys have evolved a complex, multi-chambered stomach, similar to ruminants. This extraordinary evolutionary adaptation allows them to digest tough, fibrous foliage and neutralize harmful plant toxins, transforming a seemingly useless food source into a vital reservoir of daily energy. Within this specialized digestive tract, billions of symbiotic bacteria work tirelessly to break down tough cellulose and neutralize plant toxins. These microscopic allies perform a vital chemical service, converting highly fibrous, toxic foliage into digestible nutrients that sustain the entire troop in this competitive riverine environment. This unique internal chemistry allows them to exploit a food source that other competitors must completely ignore. By dominating this ecological niche, the monkeys avoid direct competition with other primates, securing a stable and prosperous existence within the dense, highly contested canopies of Borneo. However, life by the water is fraught with constant peril. When food becomes scarce, they must make a daring choice to venture closer to the river's edge. This perilous decision brings them within reach of the dark, murky depths where ancient, patient killers lie in wait. Just beneath the silt of Borneo's rivers, the saltwater crocodile waits with infinite patience. This prehistoric nightmare, an ancient survivor unchanged for millions of years, remains completely motionless, blending seamlessly into the murky shallows as it prepares to launch a devastating, explosive surprise attack. Reaching lengths that can exceed 20 feet, this is the largest living reptile, the supreme monarch of brackish waters. Dominating this river ecosystem with unmatched physical power and ancient predatory skill, this colossal reptile fears absolutely nothing, ruling its watery domain with absolute authority. Its rugged hide provides perfect camouflage, rendering it invisible until the very last moment. This natural, armored disguise blends seamlessly with the muddy banks and floating debris, allowing the giant predator to drift dangerously close to the shoreline without raising a single alarm. Thousands of sensitive pressure receptors on its jaw act as a radar system, detecting vibrations from dozens of yards away. This advanced biological sensory array paints a precise mental map of the river, allowing the crocodile to track unsuspecting prey even in pitch-black, silt-heavy waters. Its bite exerts an incredible force of 3,700 pounds per square inch, the most powerful in the animal kingdom. This devastating pressure instantly crushes bone and subdues the most resilient prey, ensuring that once those massive jaws clamp shut, escape becomes a physical impossibility. In the wild heart of Borneo, a single moment of inattention can easily cost one's life. In this unforgiving aquatic arena, survival demands absolute, uninterrupted vigilance, as the boundary between predator and prey remains razor-thin and the river never forgives a single mistake. Yet, in this unforgiving realm, there are gentle giants that know absolutely no fear. These colossal herbivores command total respect across the island, navigating the dense jungle paths with a quiet, majestic confidence born of their immense physical stature and deep social bonds. Emerging from the morning mist, the Bornean elephant appears in all its majesty. These magnificent, gentle creatures represent a unique subspecies, smaller and more docile than their continental relatives, yet perfectly adapted to navigate and thrive within the dense tropical rainforests of Borneo. Their true strength lies not in their tusks, nor their highly versatile trunks containing 40,000 muscles. This incredible biological tool serves as a delicate hand, a powerful arm, and a vital sensory organ, allowing these gentle giants to interact deeply with their forest environment. While these gentle giants navigate the day with quiet confidence, a completely different world awakens under the cover of darkness. As night falls, the forest's pocket-sized hunters finally stir, ready to claim the shadows as their ultimate secret hunting ground. Among these nocturnal phantoms is the tarsier, a primate measuring barely 4 inches in length. Despite its diminutive stature, this tiny creature is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, perfectly adapted to survive in a challenging realm dominated by much larger predators. To dominate the darkness, it relies on immense eyes that are actually larger than its own brain. These massive biological lenses are meticulously designed to capture every stray photon of light, transforming the pitch-black jungle into a clear, highly detailed map. Because these extraordinary eyes are so large, they remain completely fixed within the skull. To compensate for this limitation, nature granted the tarsier a miraculous neck capable of rotating nearly 270 degrees, allowing it to scan for threats without moving. This incredible visual range is vital, as the tarsier is the only primate in the world that is entirely carnivorous. Hunting in the shadows requires absolute precision, turning this tiny mammal into one of the forest's most specialized and lethal predators. Its daily survival depends entirely on securing fresh protein from a steady diet of insects and small reptiles. Every movement must be calculated, as a single missed opportunity in the dark canopy could mean starvation in this highly competitive environment. The secret to its hunting success lies in its specialized hind legs, which feature unusually long tarsal bones. These elongated limbs act like coiled springs, allowing the tiny predator to launch itself up to 40 times its own body length instantly. While hunting, they communicate using high-frequency ultrasound at 91 kilohertz. This secret language remains completely beyond the hearing range of deadly predators like owls and snakes, ensuring the tarsiers can coordinate their movements in absolute safety and silence. As the tarsiers hunt below, a shadow battalion seizes control of the night sky far above. These are the flying foxes, the inverted monarchs of the high canopy, embarking on their nightly quest to rule the heavens of this ancient kingdom. Holding the title of the largest fruit bat on Earth, this creature boasts a massive, leathery wingspan of 5 feet. Their wings are actually modified hands with elongated fingers, connected by a thin, highly flexible membrane that grants them effortless flight. Unlike their smaller echolocating cousins, these giant bats rely on keen eyes and a sharp sense of smell. These powerful senses allow them to detect ripening fruit from miles away, guiding their massive colonies directly to the forest's richest seasonal bounties. On these demanding nightly expeditions, some mothers must carry a double burden through the sky. A young pup clings tightly to her chest with its claws, becoming an inseparable part of her daring, high-altitude aerial acrobatics across the canopy. Despite their intimidating appearance, these bats are crucial to the forest's survival. As they fly across vast distances, they disperse tons of seeds, acting as the ecosystem's most industrious planters and reconnecting isolated fragments of this fragile green world. While bats secure the skies, another unique survivor roams the forest floor. The Sunda pangolin is the only mammal on Earth to trade warm fur for a suit of cold armor, protected by over 900 overlapping, highly durable keratin scales. Tragically, this perfect natural defense has become the primary cause of its downfall. Driven by greed, humans target these gentle creatures for traditional medicine, pushing one of the forest's most uniquely armored residents dangerously close to the brink of extinction. As the pangolin struggles on the forest floor, a creature of regal splendor commands the clearing. The green peafowl, adorned in metallic green plumage, stands as a rare symbol of forest majesty, displaying a magnificent train decorated with striking, eye-like patterns. When the seasonal rains arrive, the males perform complex, mesmerizing dances to attract mates. However, this beautiful display is threatened by rapid habitat loss and illegal hunting, casting a dark shadow over the future of Java's most elegant avian resident. Deeper within the tropical wilderness, a silent crimson specter moves through the undergrowth. This is the toll, a wild canine shaped by millions of years of evolution to become one of Southeast Asia's most efficient and highly coordinated pack hunters. Hunting in highly organized packs, they communicate through distinctive echoing whistles. This complex vocal system allows them to coordinate complex ambushes, though their own survival remains highly endangered with only a few thousand individuals left in the wild. While the tolls hunt in packs, a solitary master of stealth claims the deeper shadows. The Sumatran tiger, the smallest of all surviving tiger subspecies, moves with silent footfalls, embodying the ultimate spirit of patience and absolute power within the dense jungle. Its compact size is not a weakness, but a highly sophisticated adaptation to its dense environment. This agile build allows the tiger to weave effortlessly through tangled vines and narrow trails, catching unsuspecting prey completely off guard in the thickest brush. Its vivid orange coat, striped with bold black patterns, serves as the perfect camouflage. By shattering its silhouette against the dappled forest light, the tiger becomes a literal ghost, completely invisible to its prey until the very moment of attack. Yet, even this supreme predator's authority is now more fragile than ever. As human roads and plantations fragment the ancient forest, the tiger's territory continues to shrink, turning every single step into a desperate battle for the survival of its legacy. In the deepest, most protected pockets of Sumatra, another ancient phantom still endures. The Sumatran rhinoceros, the smallest and most ancient rhino species on Earth, remains a living relic of a bygone ice age, fighting silently to survive in a rapidly changing world. This ancient relic carries the physical imprint of a world long gone, marked by its thin coat of hair and two small horns. Every slow, heavy step represents a defiant stand against a rapidly changing modern world, a quiet testament to millions of years of evolutionary history. But this living echo from the past is slowly fading away from the dense forests. Seeking refuge in the cooling mud, the solitary creature retreats from the relentless pressures of a changing environment, desperately trying to escape the harsh reality of its dwindling numbers. Standing on the absolute precipice of extinction, fewer than 80 of these magnificent beasts remain in the wild today. Each quiet moment spent navigating the brush is a precious victory against the dual threats of relentless poaching and the devastating loss of their ancient forest home. Hope flickers in the form of a mother guiding her young calf through the sanctuary. Every footstep in this quiet forest serves as a fragile reminder of a heritage we risk losing forever, carrying the weight of an entire species' future as they navigate the shadows. As the rhinos guard the forest floor, a different kind of majesty unfolds high above. At the very peak of the Sumatran canopy, a solitary figure moves with quiet grace, navigating the complex aerial highways of this ancient jungle with unmatched intelligence and ease. This is the Sumatran orangutan, known in the local tongue as the person of the forest, possessing deep wisdom etched into its expressive face. This great ape rules the high branches, living a life almost entirely detached from the dangers lurking on the ground below. As a true master of the heights, it rarely descends to the damp ground where danger constantly lurks. Yet, when it does step onto the forest floor, every movement is cautious, a calculated risk taken far away from the safety of the canopy. Survival in this vertical maze requires a remarkable mind. Its brain maintains a highly detailed map of the forest, recalling the precise location and ripening time of every fruit tree, ensuring this intelligent creature never wastes precious energy on a fruitless search. This vital survival knowledge is passed down through an exceptionally deep maternal bond. For nearly a decade, the young will learn everything from their mother, mastering the complex arts of nest building and forest navigation during one of nature's longest, most nurturing childhoods. Yet, millions of years of evolutionary wisdom are threatened by a single destructive force. Beneath their high canopy paradise, the roar of chainsaws is growing louder, signaling the rapid disappearance of their home and pushing these gentle giants into fragmented pockets of survival. Every step taken in this shrinking wilderness is not just a search for food, but a silent war against disappearance. The future of these ancient lineages rests entirely on human choices, determining whether these majestic forest guardians will endure or vanish forever. While some struggle in isolation, other corners of the earth witness grand, collective rhythms. This is an ancient cycle led by the primal rhythm of nature, calling millions of creatures to participate in the most spectacular and dangerous migration across the vast African savanna. Over 2 million creatures begin their majestic journey towards the lush grasslands of the Masai Mara. Driven by the search for fresh water and food, this massive living wave of wildebeest and zebras moves as a single unstoppable force across the dusty African plains. Leading the way are the zebras, the courageous pioneers of this epic march. Blessed with sharp eyesight and memory, they confidently guide the massive herd forward, braving the unknown dangers of the open landscape to pave a safe path for those behind. By grazing on the tough, tall grasses, the zebras open the way for the black sea of wildebeest that billows behind. This seamless partnership is a beautiful, symbiotic alliance designed to maximize survival for both species as they navigate the treacherous trail together. But their collective resolve is soon tested by a deadly obstacle. A great geological scar, the Mara River, stands in their path, its rushing waters hiding hungry predators and demanding an extraordinary display of courage from the hesitant, gathering herds on the bank. As the crowd swells on the steep banks, tension reaches a boiling point. They desperately need a pioneer, one individual brave enough to make the fateful leap. Once the first daring animal plunges into the raging current, the entire army instantly rushes to follow. One animal plunges, and thousands immediately follow, transforming the steep riverbank into a chaotic, dust-filled battlefield of survival. Risking everything for the promise of green pastures, they fight the powerful currents and the ancient predators waiting beneath the churning surface. Emerging onto solid ground, the exhausted survivors believe the worst is behind them. However, the queens of the savannah have been in position since the earth began to tremble, with millions of hooves, patiently waiting to ambush the weakened and weary travelers. A zebra, its muscles burning with lactic acid from the intense crossing, struggles to find its footing. Its reflexes have become dangerously slow, making it the prime target for the apex predators, proving that on these plains, survival is never guaranteed. As the exhausted zebra struggles on the treacherous riverbank, the stage shifts to the true masters of speed. A lethal coalition of cheetahs prepares to strike, combining their unmatched velocity and seamless coordination to exploit any lingering weakness in the desperate migrating herd. Their sharp gaze locks onto a young, vulnerable zebra straying from the safety of the herd. Isolated in the dense brush and stripped of collective protection, this fragile target becomes the ideal focus for the predator's calculated, high-speed assault. A solitary female cheetah must seize this fleeting window of opportunity to hunt. Braving the oppressive midday heat while larger rivals sleep, she takes a desperate gamble, knowing she must secure a vital meal before competing predators awaken to steal her prize. Her worst fears materialize as an uninvited guest suddenly breaches her territory. Drawn by the scent of fresh blood, a spotted hyena emerges from the grass, ready to challenge the exhausted cheetah, who is simply too spent to defend her hard-won prize. Many underestimate these spotted hyenas, dismissing them as mere scavengers. In reality, they are proactive and brutally efficient predators. Ruling the plains through sheer tenacity and complex social bonds, they possess the power to overwhelm almost any opponent they encounter. While they typically live in organized clans, even a single isolated hyena remains a formidable opponent. Armed with bone-crushing jaw strength, a solitary hunter can easily dominate the landscape and dismantle its prey with terrifying, highly efficient speed. Following the hyena's thorough feast, even the gathering vultures are rarely left with a chance to feed. They squabble aggressively over the barren remains, waiting for the true monarchs of the Masai Mara to arrive and assert their ultimate authority. Emerging from the golden grass, the lions arrive to claim their dominance. As the only big cats featuring a highly complex social life, their collective survival hinges on a strict division of labor and unwavering cooperation within the pride. The majestic males, whose thick manes serve as vital armor to protect their necks in battle, are tasked with defending the territory from intruders. This constant vigilance secures the pride's borders, leaving the crucial task of hunting to the coordinated females. Meanwhile, the heavy responsibility of feeding the growing family falls squarely on the females. The lionesses coordinate their movements with silent, deadly precision, scanning the vast horizon for the perfect target to sustain their pride for another day. A stray wildebeest represents the ideal prey for the pride. Large enough to feed the entire family for a day, it offers a substantial reward without the extreme physical dangers posed by the formidable horns of a giant Cape buffalo. This time, the target is not one of the lumbering giants of the migration, but a swift Thompson's gazelle. This challenging pursuit demands absolute precision and explosive speed, testing the limits of the lioness's hunting prowess on the open plains. Within the massive, churning torrent of the migration, not every individual possesses the stamina to endure. Those unable to keep pace with the grueling journey quickly fall behind, becoming easy targets for the relentless predators tracking the herd. As the dry season in the Masai Mara reaches its harshest peak, even the formidable hunters begin to lose their strength. The oppressive heat and scarce resources drain both predator and prey, shifting the delicate balance of power on the savanna. The prey are far from defenseless. Scientists have measured the force of an adult zebra's kick at nearly 3,000 newtons. This devastating impact is more than enough to shatter a predator's jaw, turning a defensive strike into a lethal countermeasure. The shrinking riverbanks always draw the thirsty and the unwary to the water's edge. In this high-stakes arena, the desperate need for hydration forces rival species to gather closely, blurring the lines between safety and extreme danger. The colossal Cape buffalo, widely feared as one of Africa's most dangerous animals, will not back down easily. Armed with massive sweeping horns and a legendary temper, this formidable giant stands ready to turn the tables on any approaching predator. It seems that across the Masai Mara, almost every creature is nursing a deep resentment toward the kings. The lions find their royal authority challenged at every turn by bold, defiant prey animals who refuse to remain easy victims. The lions still believe that successfully hunting a giant will restore their lost honor. However, their desperate assault fails under the buffalo's brutal counterattack, scattering the pride and delivering a humiliating blow to their royal reputation. The grueling dry season ultimately ends with a spectacular victory for the prey. By uniting against their hunters, these formidable herds have proven they are not merely food, but powerful forces capable of defending their lives against the plains' top predators. In November, the winds finally change, carrying vital moisture from the south. This powerful environmental cue triggers a deep, primal instinct within the massive herds, signaling that it is finally time to begin their long journey back home. The migrating army of 1.5 million wildebeest turns back toward home. Though exhausted and carrying the physical scars of a brutal season, they march resolutely forward, driven by the eternal, unbroken cycle of renewal and survival. Lately, the lead male lion has watched his mates get tossed and trampled by the fierce resistance of those who were once easy food. This embarrassing defiance wounds his royal pride, demanding an immediate, brutal display of absolute dominance. This rebellion triggers a sudden explosion of testosterone in the ruler's blood. Unleashing his primal fury, the king launches a devastating solo charge, determined to deliver one final brutal reminder of who truly rules the African plains before the herds depart. As the king's furious roar fades, the departing herds face a different conflict on the open plains. Rival male wildebeests clash in brutal head-on duels. Their locked horns echo across the vast grasslands as they battle fiercely for dominance before the Great Migration continues. These desperate battles are not merely displays of empty pride, but a struggle for the ultimate prize. Each warrior fights for the exclusive right to pass on his genetic legacy, ensuring his bloodline endures in the fragile new generation that will soon flood the savanna. In this unforgiving arena, the stakes could not be higher for the exhausted rivals. The victorious male claims absolute dominance over the breeding herd, while the vanquished opponent faces the permanent end of his lineage, forgotten entirely by the relentless march of time. Once the dust of these violent clashes finally settles, a quiet peace descends upon the plains. Nature prepares to unleash its most spectacular miracle, transforming the scarred battlefield into a vast, nurturing cradle where the future of the entire herd will soon be born. Within a remarkably brief window, the golden grasslands are suddenly overwhelmed by an astonishing wave of new life. Hundreds of thousands of vulnerable calves are born almost simultaneously, creating a massive, synchronized shield of numbers to confuse the hungry predators waiting in the shadows. This synchronized explosion of life is timed perfectly with the abundance of the land. Grazing on mineral-rich volcanic soil, the mother wildebeests absorb vital nutrients, converting the Earth's ancient elements into rich, life-giving milk that will fuel the rapid growth of their newborn calves. This rich nourishment provides a vital advantage in a world where weakness means instant death. Within a single hour of entering the world, each fragile calf must find its footing, standing tall and prepared to run for its life against relentless predators. Yet, in these early moments, the young creatures remain beautifully unaware of the dangers surrounding them. Filled with innocent curiosity, they approach the world with open eyes, oblivious to the harsh reality of predator and prey that fate will soon force them to confront. These fragile newborns represent the enduring hope of their species, a legacy forged in conflict and destined for survival. They will grow to face treacherous rivers and deadly enemies, carrying the eternal cycle of the great migration forward into an uncertain, challenging future. While the plains celebrate this joyous rebirth, a far harsher narrative unfolds across the continent. Far to the southwest, a land of sand and fire demands a completely different kind of resilience, where survival is written in the ancient, scorched earth of Damaraland. This remote wilderness stretches across thousands of miles, existing as a pristine, undisturbed monument to the passage of time. Here, the modern world fades away entirely, replaced by a wild, mesmerizing landscape of towering rock formations and ancient secrets carved deep into the stone. As the landscape shifts further west, the environment becomes increasingly hostile and unforgiving. In this hyper-arid desert, nature strips away every luxury, leaving behind only cracked earth, endless gravel plains, and the bare, brutal essence of survival under a relentless, burning sun. During the brutal midday hours, the temperature soars to extreme heights, turning the desert into a virtual furnace. The shimmering air seems to shatter in the oppressive, dry heat, forcing every living creature to seek whatever meager shade they can find to survive. Yet, when the sun finally sets, the burning furnace transforms into a freezing desert wasteland. Temperatures plummet dramatically, forcing the inhabitants of this extreme world to constantly adjust their biological rhythms just to survive the freezing nights beneath a vast canopy of stars. Out of this barren, shimmering dust, a legendary giant emerges to defy the hostile desert. The desert elephant walks these scorched plains, leaving massive footprints in the sand as a testament to its incredible ability to conquer an environment that would easily destroy most others. To survive this endless furnace, these giants have evolved distinct physical advantages over their savanna cousins. Their longer legs carry them across vast distances, while their leaner bodies and oversized ears help dissipate the intense heat, allowing them to thrive in the dry wasteland. Driven by a relentless thirst, the herd embarks on grueling daily marches across the burning sands. They can travel over 40 miles in a single day, desperately searching for ephemeral water sources that vanish almost as quickly as they appear in this parched landscape. Their survival hinges entirely on an extraordinary inherited map of the mind. Passed down through generations, this priceless spatial memory allows the elephants to recall the precise location of hidden waterholes, keeping the family alive when all other resources have completely dried up. At the heart of this survival strategy is the wise matriarch, the oldest and most experienced female. She holds the invisible map of the desert in her mind, guiding her vulnerable family through the arid labyrinth and making decisions that mean life or death. Sharing this harsh, sun-baked sanctuary is another ancient survivor of equal resilience. The desert black rhino roams the rocky ridges of Damaraland, a solitary and heavily armored ghost of the plains that has adapted perfectly to the extreme challenges of this arid wilderness. These solitary giants claim vast, rugged territories across this semi-arid landscape. Roaming freely over thousands of square miles, they form the largest and most vital wild population of black rhinos left on Earth, protected by the sheer isolation of their hostile desert home. Though hindered by exceptionally poor eyesight, these ancient creatures navigate the treacherous terrain with absolute confidence. Relying on an incredibly keen sense of smell and hearing, they conquer steep, rocky slopes, standing as proud symbols of endurance in Africa's most challenging desert lands. Conquering these treacherous, sun-baked slopes, the desert black rhino demonstrates its remarkable agility. To survive in this vertical wilderness, this heavily armored giant climbs steep, rocky terrain with absolute confidence, driven by a relentless quest to find scarce food hidden among the high ridges. Yet this quiet confidence can instantly erupt into explosive power. When threatened, the lumbering giant transforms into a force of nature, charging at speeds of 30 miles per hour to defend its territory and warn any intruder that this harsh desert belongs to them alone. Once danger passes, the rhino resumes its search for sustenance. This ancient survivor favors succulent plants, particularly the Euphorbia damarana, While its toxic sap would easily prove fatal to most other animals, it serves as a prized, nutritious meal for this resilient giant. During the peak of the harsh, dry season, this toxic vegetation becomes the only source of life that remains. As precious waterholes vanish, these resilient beasts rely on the plant's moisture to survive, defying the scorching desert heat when all other life withers. By extracting moisture directly from these hardy plants, the rhinos unlock a vital survival strategy. They can easily endure 3 to 4 days without drinking water, allowing them to wander deep into the parched interior, far beyond the reach of normal water sources. This incredible resilience has helped the species secure a vital stronghold. Today, Namibia is home to over 2,200 black rhinos, representing the vast majority of the global population and marking a monumental triumph for those dedicated to preserving this ancient prehistoric legacy. While massive giants roam the open plains, a far more insidious threat emerges. In the silence of the desert, a deadly puff adder glides discreetly over the cracked earth, navigating the barren landscape like a phantom hidden within the shifting sands of Damaraland. This silent traveler is widely recognized as one of Africa's most feared predators. A true master of camouflage, its beautifully patterned skin allows it to blend seamlessly into the parched earth, rendering it completely invisible to any unsuspecting prey that wanders nearby. When prey wanders too close, the viper strikes with terrifying speed. With an incredibly fast bite, its potent venom enters the victim's body, causing rapid tissue destruction, severe hemorrhaging, and agonizing pain, ensuring that escape is entirely impossible for the doomed target. Unlike other serpents that flee from danger, this bold predator stands its ground. It inflates its body, hisses fiercely, and remains ready to strike immediately, sending a clear warning to any potential threat that it will defend itself with lethal, lightning-fast precision. This fierce defiance is backed by a devastating biological weapon. The snake's venom is a cytotoxin, a powerful agent that specializes in destroying cells and tissues, ensuring that any creature unfortunate enough to be bitten faces a rapid, agonizing breakdown of its physical systems. The true danger lies in the sheer speed of its execution. This lethal predator can launch a strike in just a quarter of a second, moving far faster than the human eye can register, leaving its prey with absolutely no time to react or escape. To escape the burning sun, other desert dwellers seek refuge. Scattered across Damaraland are massive granite outcrops, serving as crucial natural shelters for clever creatures that know exactly how to disappear beneath the rocks to escape the relentless, punishing heat of the desert. These towering stone fortresses hold far more than just ecological significance. These ancient outcrops also hold immense cultural value, preserving sacred secrets of the past and serving as a timeless canvas that connects modern humanity to the early history of survival on this continent. Over 2,500 rock engravings at Twyfelfontein, dating back thousands of years, depict the deep ancestral connection of the Sand People to nature. These priceless carvings remain etched in the stone, documenting an ancient era when humans and wildlife shared a sacred bond. Living directly alongside these ancient carvings is a small, energetic survivor. Within the cracks of the massive granite boulders, the rock hyrax, also known as the dassie, navigates through every crevice with absolute ease, using the stone labyrinth as a shield against predators. Though this small, furry creature closely resembles a common rodent, evolutionary biology reveals a shocking secret. It may look like a simple rock dweller, but its closest living relative is actually the massive elephant, sharing a unique genetic lineage deep in ancient history. To survive the extreme desert heat, these creatures employ a unique biological strategy. They spend up to 95% of their day at rest, compensating for their poor ability to regulate body temperature by basking lazily on the warm granite under the sun. To escape danger, they rely on remarkable physical adaptations. The soles of their feet have moist pads acting like suction cups, allowing them to cling effortlessly to sheer, vertical rock faces where hungry predators like eagles and leopards can hardly hope to reach them. Yet, safety on these high cliffs is never guaranteed. High above, at an altitude of over 3,000 feet, a winged shadow circles in silence, scanning the rocky terrain below with deadly precision, waiting for the slightest movement from the vulnerable prey below. This majestic airborne hunter is the martial eagle, one of the 5 largest eagles in Africa. A true warrior of the sky, this formidable raptor dominates the semi-arid ecosystem, using its immense power and sharp hunting instincts to rule the desert canopy. Its ultimate weapon is legendary vision. The eagle's eyes can spot prey from over 3 miles away, providing an absolute advantage in the sparse landscape of Damaraland, where small creatures find very few places to hide from the piercing gaze of this airborne predator. With its sheer power and unmatched aerial agility, the martial eagle easily occupies the absolute top of the food chain in these semi-arid ecosystems. No small creature is safe on the ground when this winged warrior decides to launch its devastating strike. Yet, even the most powerful aerial warriors face threats they cannot conquer. Since 2020, the International Union for Conservation of Nature has listed this magnificent species as endangered, warning that this legendary king of the skies could soon disappear from the desert forever.